Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Halftime. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm happy to have all of you guys back again. It's very nice to see all of you. As you can see, I'm wearing the old away kit. I think it's about from what year? 2018, 2019? Yeah, I actually really liked this long sleeve kit. I'm actually going to go play football today, surprisingly enough. I'm playing at Stella with a couple of my mates from the Bluff. Shout out to Jays, shout out to Louis, shout out to Lee, Chad, Yazar's been on my show before. Shout out to all the boys that I'm playing soccer with tonight. I'm keen to play with you boys. I haven't played for a long time. Soccer's just been kind of taken a bit of a backseat in my country. I think that like a lot of physical activity has just taken a backseat with the coronavirus pandemic, and it's very sad. But at the same time, I'm not sad right now. I am excited as hell for tonight. So I've actually got some coffee that I had here just to get me pumped. I got some fruit and I'm going to have an apple just to help me with my endurance. That's kind of how I run for a whole hour. The apple really helps with the acidity in the body, and it kind of just gives you the extra second breath, just to keep running, keep on your feet, keep moving. So that's basically my football secret before I play. An apple. Believe it or not. Anyway, hope you guys are all good. Hope you guys are all great and just taking it easy and looking after yourselves. Champ, my dog is barking relentlessly. I have no idea why. Anyway, hope you guys are all good. Welcome back to Halftime. Before I even start the show, please click subscribe. Please. And if you want, please just share the show. Share it to anyone that loves football. Share it to all your friends, your colleagues, whatever the case is on your socials. If you love football, Halftime is the only football show in South Africa. Champ is ruining my show right now. Champ, my G. He just stopped. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, guys, just keep sharing the show. I'm happy for all of you guys for watching it. Thank you for all the subscribers so far. Thank you for all of you that watch my show every single day. It's very difficult for me to produce Halftime, if you guys haven't noticed. It's just that like I haven't got the time on my hands to like record, produce, and edit and all that kind of vibe. So it's very difficult, but I still do my best. So here I am with the next episode of Halftime. So let's get into it. Looking at the papers, obviously Barcelona has been a lot within the front lines of every single newspaper. And there's another headline. So Eric Abidal, who is the sporting director at Barcelona, has been sacked as of today. He's been sacked with immediate effect. And there's been quotes from the football club saying that they are happy to have had Eric Abidal as part of their staff. They're happy to have his positive attitude. And they are sad to see him leave. I don't think so. Eric Abidal, he's only been there from last summer. He's made some very rash decisions. I don't think he's done a very good job as a sporting director. I mean, if we look at it in context, I mean, in the 1 year that he's been there, he single-handedly signed Martin Braithwaite as a player to come and help with the lack of striking options at that moment in time. He helped with the Griezmann deal, and it just hasn't worked out with so many players. Arthur Melo has been allowed to leave to Juventus on his watch. So plenty of things have happened. The hiring of managers has been haphazard. They hired Quique Setien. Ernesto Valverde was chosen to leave his duties before Quique Setien came in. And it just hasn't worked out for Eric Abidal and Quique Setien at Barcelona. This is a very weird stance from Barcelona, because the reality of it is, when they sacked Quique Setien yesterday, on Monday, for whenever you guys are watching this, when they sacked him on Monday, the club came out and publicly backed Eric Abidal to take them into the future. So for me, it was like, why would you publicly back him if you're still gonna sack him? Why would the club publicly look at him and say, we're gonna keep you, like you have a place here, you're gonna be involved in the restructuring of this football club? Why do that? Why do that? But anyway, Barca chose to publicly come out and say that, and less than 24 hours later, they've basically sacked Eric Abidal, effective immediately. I think the club have made a couple of scapegoats in Eric Abidal and Quique Setien, but something had to be done because Barcelona fans were becoming impatient. Messi wants to leave the club. The players are all lacking confidence and any kind of esteem to be, Barca players. So essentially, something had to be done, and I feel like Eric Abidal is being used as like the scapegoat to say, it's your fault. But the reality of it is that Bartomeu, who's the chief exec, he's at board level at Barcelona. He's the one pulling the strings ultimately. He's signing off checks. He's handling everything. So there've been calls for Bartomeu's head, but nothing's happening. We just choose to get rid of Setien and Eric Abidal. Okay. But that's basically the news from around Europe. That's just basically what's happening at Barcelona. Let's move on to our next piece of news. So Arsenal have agreed a £22 million deal with Lille for Gabriel Magalhaes. I think that's how you say his surname. I think. The 22-year-old highly rated centre-back is soon to be at Arsenal's training ground for a medical. That is according to the Mirror, the Daily Mail and the Guardian. And there are rumours that Arsenal have successfully agreed that deal. And I think it's going to go through. I think Arsenal are signing a very good centre-back. At 22 years of age, I don't think he's going to be the person that's going to come in and change the defense like the impact that certain players have had, like Laporte, Van Dijk. I don't think he's of that ilk as yet, but he's a very good defender so far, and I think Arsenal have made a very good choice by adding him to their ranks. Let's just hope that deal can go through soon. I think it should go through by maybe by the end of this week, maybe even beginning of next week. Let's just keep an eye on how that whole thing develops, and we'll just see where it goes from there. Okay, next story. So, Tottenham fans, I don't know how you guys feel about this. This is a bit of an underwhelming, but still good piece of business. Joe Hart has signed on a free transfer to Tottenham. So, Joe Hart has joined them, earning £50,000 a week. He comes in. He's 33 years old. He's had 75 England caps. Joe Hart's been a very experienced player for England and for City and Burnley. But you know what? All in all, I think Tottenham have made a very shrewd signing in getting Joe Hart. The experience he has is invaluable. You can't put a market value on that. And I think that Joe Hart is a very good professional. I don't know if he's going to push Hugo Lloris for a starting place, but I think he might just do enough, in cup competitions. He might just be enough in other aspects in Spurs, like cup runs. But nonetheless, Joe Hart has signed, and here's what he says speaking about the move. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to the club for seeing something in me. No getting away from it. It's been a difficult couple of years for me personally on the football field, but I feel I've got so much to give. I feel like I've got a lot of quality and a lot in the bank, but not much game time recently. He goes on to say about his difficult last 2 seasons. He goes on to say, they've been a process, something I've certainly not had to get used to because I didn't want to ever get used to it. But I've lived it. I've worked hard, kept the same standards I've kept throughout my career, right from my start at Shrewsbury Town. I've tried to grow as a person, tried to grow as a player, tried to use my time, tried to look at it differently. If I'm not playing on the pitch, what can I get out of myself off the pitch? I still feel like exactly the same player, and I still feel like I've got more to give. You can't help but get excited at this club. Off the field, doing everything right, tremendous training ground, one of the world's greatest stadiums, some of the best players you can get in football. I think we can work as a team and work together as a unit, and the sky's the limit. It has to be. Those are the words of Joe Hart. So Joe Hart's very optimistic about working with Jose Mourinho. He will be second choice to Hugo Lloris, and I think that Joe Hart is a welcome addition because of his experience. It's like I said, invaluable, and having someone like him around the squad is always good. Sorry, just have a sip of my coffee. A big sip. Having someone like Joe Hart in your squad it's invaluable experience. You can't find it anywhere else. It's sort of like James Milner at Liverpool. It's sort of like David Silva and Fernandinho at City. It's sort of like so many other players, as Azpilicueta at Chelsea. That experience, you can't find it anywhere else. I think Joe Hart's attitude has been tremendous too. Like, we have to also just chat about the positives of Joe Hart. Joe Hart's attitude is crazy. He's a mental monster. There are times where he's made mistakes in his career in an England shirt or in a City jersey, but those things haven't held him back as a goalkeeper. He still moved on to go play at Burnley, and now he's come back to Tottenham. And Tottenham have obviously identified something within Joe Hart for them to be signing him on a free transfer. I think he's an invaluable person to have part of your squad. He's a happy, cheery guy. I think he has a very positive demeanor. I think attitude-wise, that's the most important thing, attitude and mentality. He brings a professionalism about him. So I think Joe Hart is something that I understand what Tottenham identified in having Joe Hart on a free transfer as part of their squad. I actually understand why they actually signed him in. But all the best to him. I hope Joe Hart can find some form again and just come back to the player that he once was at City. Almost impossible, but at 33 years of age, I think Joe Hart still has a lot to give, like he said in his interview, and we'll just see where that develops from here. Biggest story of the day: Liverpool have been rocked by having their first positive coronavirus test during pre-season, 11 days before their Community Shield game against Arsenal. But they made it very clear that they will not stop training. as the club stay silent. That's according to the Daily Mail. That was the headline by the Daily Mail, written by Max Winters. Guys, this is a tough one. The reality is Klopp cannot just stop his preseason. He can't. They're playing in the Community Shield. They're playing Arsenal. We can't just stop. But I agree with the club for keeping it quiet. They're still doing contact sessions. We've seen with the videos they've been doing lots of drills. I've seen lots of defensive work, 7v7 games. I've seen plenty of fitness drills happening. So the boys are keeping in shape and they're preparing for the upcoming Premier League season. I agree with Liverpool that they shouldn't stop training. I think they are rocked by the fact that, they obviously have their first positive test for coronavirus. Apparently, from what I've read in this article, the players are constantly tested every single day, and they keep testing them just to keep trying to keep the players safe. The player has been left unnamed for now. He's been unidentified. But what the club are doing is they said that they will test him again in a couple of days' time, because maybe the test results were a false positive. So we'll just keep an eye on that and see how it goes. But Jurgen Klopp's men are preparing in Austria in their pre-season for the Community Shield, and that positive coronavirus test won't stop them from proceeding with the season and everything else. And I actually agree with it. I don't think it's a bad thing. Essentially, if other players pick up the coronavirus, then that might just be a problem. But let's hope that the other players don't actually show any symptoms. Let's hope that the other players don't actually go through this. And I hope the players stay fit. Liverpool are basically based in the Gutbrandlhof Hotel in Austria. It's just outside Salzburg. So, yeah. And I don't know if you guys have seen any content, but it looks very cool. It looks mad. They're busy in this mountain campus with large fields, just between this mountain resort. It looks very cool. They're basically playing football in the valley of this mountain resort. Let me tell you, do yourself a favor, go to the Liverpool FC Instagram page and just go and look at how they've been training. Go look at where they are. It looks mad. How do Liverpool find all these crazy venues to train at? I don't know how they do it. Even last year they were in Evian in France. It's mad. But nonetheless, guys, what do you guys think? Should Liverpool stop training for their preseason? Should they all just isolate? What should they do? Because the truth of it is that the truth of it is that they can't. They can't. They have the Community Shield coming up. They have the Premier League starting next month on September 12th. So where do they go from there? What do you guys think? Hit me up in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed halftime. Before I even say goodbye to you, please click subscribe. Tell your friends about the show and have the best week. I'll chat to you. This is your boy Ryan. Have the best week.